Hello and welcome to the Huntsman World Senior Games Active Life. My name is Kyle Case and I'll be your host on this amazing journey as we attempt to help you get the most out of your life. Today's guest, Rocky Jackson, has always enjoyed staying active. At 19 years old, he was drafted by the Cleveland Indians in 1969 out of Yakima Valley Community College, which he jokes makes him the oldest living holdout of the team, now called the Cleveland Guardians. He spent his college years playing against future MLB greats, collecting enough road trip stories to fill a book. Since age 35, Rocky has played tennis on and off, and now in retirement, he's on the court several times a week, even playing singles for the sheer joy of long rallies and movement. Rocky is also an avid golfer who has played around the world with his wife, braving everything from beach courses to 105-degree summers. He strongly believes in cross-training workouts and is adding lap swimming into the mix. After double hip replacements in 2020, Rocky came back stronger, and at 75, he's still playing singles tennis and living by the belief that the universe always says yes, and you have to use it or lose it. Rocky, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
So that's quite a resume there. You've been involved in a lot of active things throughout most of your adult life.
I was watching the video in your waiting room, and I played probably everything on that video, with the exception of mountain biking and shooting.
Okay.
Cowboy shooting, I think I saw.
Well, it's not too late.
Yeah.
There's still a chance to pick up another one or two of those sports. But I want to start out with the baseball. So obviously to be at the level to be considered by the, at the time, Cleveland Indians, the Cleveland Guardians now, you got to be playing at a pretty high level. Talk a little bit to us about how you got introduced to the sport and then how you developed into the player that the Major League Baseball teams were looking at.
Well, I don't know how I got interested, but I was young. I just, something about baseball was great. And then I was fortunate enough to play with our four coaches that were motivating type coaches. I remember my Pee Wee coach, which where I live, that's akin to Little League.
Yeah.
And I was about 9 or 10 years old, and we were going to play a team that had a overdeveloped 10-year-old.
Okay.
He was actually related to George Sisler, Hall of Fame baseball player.
Wow.
And the coach said, we're all kind of shaking because he was about 6 inches taller than us and a big kid.
As you said, maybe a little overdeveloped at 10 years old, right?
And he was the pitcher.
Yeah.
Other years, he threw hard and all that stuff. And the coach said, he puts his pants on same way you do.
One leg at a time, right?
And we beat him. And I was fortunate enough to knock in the winning run. And walking away from that, I've taken that expression through life. There's no challenge too big that you just step up and do your best. And that's all you can do. And it's been great for me. And from there, I went on to play, as you pointed out, in college. And I got to play against some really great players. Chris Chambliss, he kind of humbled me a little bit. Here was a guy from UCLA, and he was 6'3" and about 230, and he was like a big cat.
Strong guy, athletic.
Cat.
Yeah.
Another guy was Bruce Bodke, and he, I think in a 3-game series, we may have gotten him out once. And it was either off the center field wall, over the center field wall. He was quite a hitter for that level of play. So, it was a great experience. I played with and against some players that made the majors and
some of the greats.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to hit a home run off a couple of those future major league pitchers.
Wow!
So it was a good ride. It was nothing but enjoyment.
So, for most of us who will never get the opportunity to go through the excitement of having a Major League Baseball team looking at you as a potential candidate, what was that like? What was going through your head? What was the process like? How did you feel? How did they contact you? How did that all work out?
Well, the scout contacted me, and he actually came to where I was part-time working as a high school kid, or a college kid.
Yeah.
And talked to me and said they were going to draft me. And kind of explained the process. I did get drafted in the third round, and now I go back and I just look to make sure that was true. But it did happen, and then it was a matter of negotiating a contract. Now, at that time, I was not an employment law lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a tough decision. My dad said no. He said, "Don't, hold out, don't do it." Looking back, I don't know if that was the right choice. I mean, I don't regret it. It's not anything like
You
that.
had a great life.
Yeah,
There's
great.
always that little what if, right?
What if you'd have played?
Yeah.
And the money wasn't that bad, and that sort of thing. But what people don't realize about that type of sport is there is a lot of work that you don't see.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'd played enough of the college summer league ball that the travel is what gets you.
Yeah.
Lots of travel, lots of buses, lots of hotels, one suitcase to another. So it's not an easy situation. You have to mentally be ready for that. And so it's a good and a bad thing. I mean, I was honored to get picked and not upset that I didn't sign.
So it's interesting that that's your experience. My grandfather, who's actually passed away now, had a somewhat similar experience as well. He was kind of courted and ultimately ended up not signing and not going that route. And it was really, as you said, it was kind of the same thought process. He was worried that he'd be on the road all the time. He was just getting ready to potentially propose to my grandma, and he just didn't feel like that whole minor league thing and going through all the buses and the hotels was going to work for him. So he ended up, as you said, a very difficult decision, but he ended up turning it down and stayed home and married grandma and had a family, bought a little farm, and had a wonderful life. But I know that he never gave up his love of sports as a whole, but certainly baseball held a special place in his heart.
Oh, yeah. Same with me. I truly love the sport.
Yeah.
I would rather play baseball than eat at that age, and so, and it was good. Yeah. It shaped me for the rest of my life, I'm sure. So
absolutely. So you kind of answered my next question because you played so many sports. You talked about all the number of sports that we have available here at the games. There's a lot of team sports. There's a lot of individual sports. I'm curious if now, looking back on your life, if you have a preference on playing with a team or kind of going it alone and doing some of those individual things.
I saw that and thought about it, and I'll leave it this way. There's something magic about team sports. I remember my high school senior year, we played Legion baseball, which is a summer league.
Right.
And our team, Yakima, Washington, had won like 23 state championships.
Wow. So you got a big tradition.
It was a big tradition. Well, we didn't make it that year, but we hosted the tournament.
Oh.
And I went around, I remember this, I went around to all the players in the outfield as we were warming up. And I said, you know what? We can win this thing. And we did. And there's something about a galvanizing of players that is really special in team sports. And, that experience is fantastic. Individual sports, on the other hand, is mostly just you.
Yeah.
And nobody to blame, no excuses.
Nothing to hide behind, no bad no left fielders out of position. It really is on you.
Yeah, and you're the hero, you're the goat, all in the same.
That's right.
All at the same time. And so, I like that.
Yeah.
I like the challenge of that.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to play some individual sports now, and there's great satisfaction in playing well. There's great disappointment in playing crummy. But it's all a growing experience.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of sport as a whole. So many lessons, so many life lessons, so many, as you said, galvanizing experiences, the the agony and the ecstasy, right? That's what sports are all about. I want to talk about tennis. You spent a lot of your adult life playing tennis from about 35 on. Now at age 75, you still love to get out there and play tennis, and not just the doubles. You like to play the singles. Talk about what an influence tennis has been in your life.
Well, my law partner got me into it at age 35.
Okay.
He was a very good tennis player. I was a good athlete,
Yeah.
but not a tennis player. And happy that he did. Played for a while at that level. Coming back and, coming down here, the weather is so great. I mean, from where I came from, you can play almost all year round here. It's gotten a little cold a couple of weeks ago, but
Yeah.
but it's just fantastic. And the baseball carries over. There's something about, to me personally, there's something about hitting a ball perfectly that is so appealing.
That sweet spot,
That
the weightless
sweet
sound
spot.
coming off the bat or the racket, either way.
It makes a different sound when you do that, and it's just very enjoyable. The tennis, as I think I said in the bio, I use it mostly as a cross training to move.
Yeah.
We try to hit, not to make a point. Many times we just try to rally.
To keep the rally going.
Keep the rally going. Move a little bit, but don't move so much that you end the point.
Yeah.
Now, after you do that for a while, you'll end the point.
Sure.
But you get a great workout that way. I played this morning, and I think I burned about 600 calories. I don't know. It's just a great workout, and you get that satisfaction of hitting the sweet spot. So there's always that motivation to keep playing and improve and that sort of thing. So that's the individual side of it, and very enjoyable. It's something that maybe I shouldn't say this, but when I had my double hip replacement, I said, "Well, doctor, anything I shouldn't probably be doing?" He said, "Well, probably not marathon,
Probably not tennis,
marathon running, and he said, and probably not singles tennis."
Oh, really?
And I just resonated with me. I said,
challenge accepted, right? Challenge accepted.
Yeah, challenge accepted. And so I just had I'll call it my 40,000 mile checkup. Hips look great.
Good.
They're all perfectly aligned, etc. And I'm playing singles.
I did want to talk a little bit about the double hip replacement. 2020 is when it happened. Talk about the recovery. Was there disappointments? Was there excitement? Like, talk a little bit about going through that.
Well, first, the reason I ended up having hip replacement was I had a bad back.
Okay.
I couldn't play golf. I taking 10 ibuprofen to play one round of golf, and I said, that can't be.
Yeah.
So I go to the back doctor, and he said, "Well, your back's not great. You're 70 years old, but it's not your back; it's your hips." And I had one leg a little longer than the other. I didn't know. So went to the hip doctor, and he said, "Your hips are just bone on bone. You can't fix them other than hip replacement." And so I knew it wasn't as drastic as like knees and shoulders and stuff. But I really, that was the first major surgery I'd had. I didn't really know what to expect. And right before we went into surgery, I think he told me that he just did a lady about my age, and she didn't take any Advil or ibuprofen or anything.
Wow.
And they give you narcotics.
Yeah, right.
And I said, "No, I'm not going to take that stuff. I don't like the way it makes me feel." And so that was the start of the motivation. But it was just, you have the surgery one at a time.
Okay.
They were about 3 months apart. And in the recovery room, they make you walk, climb stairs.
Immediately. Yeah.
And I said, I'm all in. And got home, started walking immediately. By the second day, I had a walking stick kind of thing just for safety.
Balance, yeah.
Yeah. And by the third day, I was walking the balcony, which was about 60, 80 feet long, back and forth up and down the stairs. There were 21 stairs there.
You counted every one.
I counted every one of them. And so for me, it was an incredible recovery experience. I was within about 3 or 4 months, I actually climbed Snow Basin at the Olympic site with some friends. And I wasn't real sure about when we went, but I made it all right. And I never looked back. It just, keep moving forward.
I have to assume that your amazingly successful recovery was because you had prehabilitated yourself so much throughout your life. You've obviously always stayed active, kept yourself in shape. You were in a position to where you could really just bounce right back.
That had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
I was, at about 48, I'd say, is when I first actually started going to the gym on a regular basis. And I was fortunate enough to go to a gym that a Navy SEAL came to. And he told the owners, he said, I'll teach a class, but you can't pay me. And it's purely voluntary. And we did most of the SEALs training the way they did it.
Wow.
And we didn't lift the log because we didn't have a log to lift.
We weren't laying down in the ocean.
No ocean.
But all the other stuff.
Yeah. And it wasn't so much what you did as the mindset that you got. And the mindset of, I never got to what those guys get to. They're elite.
Yeah.
But the group we were with, it boiled down after a while. It started out maybe 20 and it boiled down to maybe 10. And the 10 that stayed, it was like that bonding thing of, we're going to do 50 push-ups. Okay, let's do it.
But everybody does them together.
Everybody does them together, and everybody did them. And it was like we had one workout where it was called one-upsmanship, and your turn came up and you'd do something harder than the last person did. And it just got to the point of, no matter what we said, everybody was all in, and you did it.
Yeah.
And incredible mental exercise as well as the physical. I mean, in any one given class, we'd do 300 push-ups without even blinking.
Wow.
Not all at once, but
yeah.
Yeah.
You talked a little bit about that concept from a team sport standpoint. But that camaraderie, that encouragement, that community really can exist across the board, regardless of the sport or the workout or the cross training that's going on. And you mentioned it earlier, but there really is something special about that. There's something very empowering about being a part of a community that you believe in and that they believe in you. And it really makes a difference.
It really does. I mean, it's like magic happens. All of a sudden everybody can hit. All of a sudden everybody can do 50 push-ups.
Yep.
It's you work to get there, but when that clicks, that magic happens. It's pretty incredible. I mean, you can, at least I know a little bit of the feeling that when they say no man left behind, they mean it.
Yeah. And you built a bond.
The bond is
there. I will also say this, there is something about shared suffering that really bonds people and brings them together. I was a high school wrestler, and I've been able to help coach wrestling teams the last 10 or 15 years. And there is something about shared suffering that really brings people together.
It really is.
It creates a bond.
Yeah, and even at the highest level, you watch pro sports and you can see a team when they suddenly click.
Yeah.
And they're playing team ball, and they're just amazing.
You mentioned earlier that you've participated in just a wide variety of sports, but you've most recently added lap swimming to your workouts. What was the motivation, and how has that gone for you?
Well, I was in the Navy like 100 years ago.
Okay.
And I did a little swimming, but I'm a terrible swimmer. Okay. I'm a pretty good athlete, but I'm a terrible swimmer. And, the swimming is kind of a leaning out exercise. And it was just a function of, I think I want to learn how to swim. I want to learn how to freestyle swim and swim.
Be good at it. Yeah.
And be good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can swim on my back pretty good, but freestyle is a little tougher. And I've done it a couple of times now, and a lap's a long ways.
It can be. It can feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And because I'm so inefficient. and I've just slowly learned how to kick better and arm motion better and all that. And it's a sequencing thing like lots of sports. And if you get the sequence right, it makes it a lot easier. And I still have to learn that.
Yeah, well, there's a learning curve on anything for sure. But you talked about efficiency. That's really vital in a swimming pool if you're going to swim distances and have any success. I want to talk about golf. You've golfed a lot as well. Do you have a favorite golf course that you've had?
That's tough. They're all, I mean, I've played some great courses and had some great times. For some reason, Plantation in Hawaii is a course that it's a very challenging but fun course, and it's challenging because the greens are different grass.
Okay.
And when you're putting downhill, you tap it and it goes 80 feet. When you're putting uphill, you slam it and it goes 5 feet. So
welcome to the joys of golf, right? Is what you're saying.
Yeah. Mark Twain, I think, said it's good walk spoiled.
Yeah, absolutely. By a little bit.
I disagree with him, by the way. I've had some great moments. One of the things you asked me was how, and the questions was about the course and what moments you had on the golf course that were great. And I've had fortunate to have a lot of good ones. But what probably sums it all up, I've had 3 hole-in-ones. My son witnessed the first one.
3 hole-in-ones.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
My wife witnessed one. So, I mean, that's pretty incredible. But the one I remember just kind of why I play golf, we were playing on a Hawaii course, and it was late in the day, and so the dusk was starting. And if you've seen sunset in Hawaii, you'll appreciate what I'm talking about. Par 5, I had a real good drive, but the second shot was up over a hill, and so you couldn't see where the green was. So you walk up, see where it is, come back, hit the ball. I hit it about 12 feet, made eagle, and the sun sets. And I just thought, it doesn't get much better
than this. Yeah, what a beautiful memory.
Yeah. So the golf can give you that kind of memory. And like the tennis I talked about earlier, golf is 1 minute you're a hero and the next minute you're not. And you've got to, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up.
Absolutely. You say that one of your mantras is the universe always says yes.
Yes.
Talk about what that means to you.
It came from my son years ago in college. A professor said that. And what it means to me is that if I want to be tired and not do a workout or not play tennis, the universe will say yes. That's okay. If I want to get off my duff and go do something, the universe will also say yes. So it's really kind of, what is your mindset? And I've been lucky enough, I guess, and worked at it enough that my mindset is, we are going to do this. We all have so many grains of sand in the hourglass.
Right.
So when I was a lawyer, the expression was, when you're on your deathbed, are you going to say, I wish I'd have gone to the office more? Well, the answer obviously is not really.
Right.
And the flip side of that for the universe says yes is, are you going to enjoy life? Are you going to enjoy as much life as you possibly can? And the universe will say yes. And so you have that opportunity. And that's how I try to live, is take advantage of that opportunity. It doesn't have to be playing golf or tennis or whatever. It can be as simple as just getting up and down out of a chair.
Yeah.
Just there are things you can do that will help you enjoy life more. And when you get down to it, what you have in life is health and happiness.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I try to look at that, and the universe will say yes.
Which I think is amazing advice, and what a great way to live a life. Rocky, thank you so much. That's the time that we have, but we really appreciate you spending some time with us, and we want to wish you the very best in whatever next adventure you have planned.
Well, thank you very much. I've enjoyed it.
Just a couple of things to wrap us up here really quickly. We are well on our way to preparing for the 2026 Huntsman World Senior Games. We're currently working on our master schedule. We're reserving venues and really preparing our recruitment plans. If you want to plan ahead, team registration for the 2026 Huntsman World Senior Games will open on January 1st at high noon. Individual registration opens on March 1st, and the games this year run from October 15th through the 17th. So put that on your calendar. Next week's guest, Michael Sharkey, is a 75-year-old Army veteran and lifelong outdoorsman who now competes in gravel and road cycling and recently earned a silver medal in trap shooting at the Huntsman World Senior Games. After careers as a carpenter, a watchmaker, and a ski patrol member, he continues to reinvent himself through adventure, finding therapeutic benefits in cycling, skiing weekly, and staying active alongside his world-class athlete wife. Don't miss that show. Remember to tune in live next and every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time on AM 1450 or FM 93.1 for the Huntsman World Senior Games Active Life. We take this live show and turn it into a podcast, and you can find and subscribe anywhere that your favorite podcasts are found. If you're listening or watching by podcast, take a moment and give us a rating. Write a quick review. That can really help us spread the word. You can also find this and previous shows right on our website. That is seniorgames.net. So check that out. Today's inspirational thought comes from Oprah Winfrey, who once said, "I don't have any limitations on what I think I can do or be." Until next Thursday, stay active.